Welcome to the Substation Saturday episode, which is brought to you by Scope. Now, today's presentation is regarding the Sf6 Gas Handling Solutions. Now, as you all know, that Sf6, we are generally, the application of Sf6 is we are using it as an arc extinguishing, material as a switch gears. Let me introduce myself. I'm Aritra, working as a product specialist in Scope. I'm looking after the different segment of products like surge arrestor related products, the GIS related all the products, circuit breaker related all the products, and the battery maintenance products. I'll be assisting Mr. Nilay Ray, sir, who is the lead product specialist. Now, basically, our today agenda will be, we will explain what is Sf6, what are the applications of Sf6, what are the properties of Sf6. The properties means the physical properties along with the chemical properties of Sf6. After that, we will slowly explain you that what are the decomposition schemes of Sf6. That means when the decomposition of Sf6 starts to happen inside the gas chamber, then different kinds are forming, and because of that, effective dielectric strength of Sf6 is getting reduced. Now, after that, we will directly go to the products, where we will explain you the three types of products which we are generally observing in each utility wherever it is having the AIS or the GIS substation. First is the Sf6 gas handling product. That is, with the help of that product, you can do the filling, recovery of Sf6, purification, and the filtration. After that, we will having the Sf6 gas analyzers and the dew point meters. So with the help of the gas analyzers, you can analyze what is the condition of the Sf6, what is the purity of the Sf6, and what are the conditions of the byproducts, whichever is there in your gas compartment. And last but not the least, it is we are having the Sf6 gas leak detectors, and we are having two different models based on the leak detection technique. And so after that, we will have the final Q&A where we will discuss the different questions. Now, if I am talking about the properties of Sf6, you all know it is a colorless gas. You cannot see it in the naked eyes. It is odorless. You cannot smell it if it is there in the open environment. The pure Sf6 is very much non-toxic. However, I just want to add one point here. The toxicity of the Sf6 comes when the Sf6 starts to disintegrate. So whenever the byproducts are forming, the Sf6 is becoming toxic, and automatically the purity of Sf6 is reducing. It is a non-flammable gas, and it is chemically non-reactive. It is highly stable. So to disintegrate Sf6, you need almost 524 kilocalorie amount of heat. After that, only Sf6 will disintegrate. So that is why it is very, very non-reactive. It is very much inert in nature. And you can understand that if the disintegration of Sf6 is happening, so 524 kilocalorie amount of heat is dissipating. So automatically it becomes a very, very efficient coolant. It is having very high thermal conductivity even at very low temperature. And the primary application of the Sf6, we all know that it is having the high dielectric strength, because of which we are using it in the switch gears. One of the disadvantage point of Sf6 is that it can absorb the IR, it is the infrared, and it can create the greenhouse effect, which is a very live problem nowadays for us. If we are talking about the physical properties, that is the molar mass is almost 146.06 gram per mole. So you can understand that the air is having almost 78% nitrogen. So if we are calculating the molar mass of air, so it is almost 28 gram per mole. So almost 5 to 6 times it is heavier than air. It is having a very high atmospheric life of 3200 years, and also the global warming potential of SF6 is rather very high, almost 22,000 to 24,000 times that of CO2. So the different committees like IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, they have strictly told that SF6 in open environment is totally banned. Basically, after the Kyoto Protocol, it has happened. So release SF6 into the open atmosphere because the global warming potential is very high. But also you can see the atmospheric life is almost 3200 years. So once it is released in the atmosphere, it will be there up to 3200 years. Generation after generation, we will face this effect of SF6 once it is releasing in the environment. So these are the properties of the SF6. If we are just quickly have the summary that what are the facts. As I have already told you that with the calculation of gram per mole, you can almost say that SF6 is 6 times heavier than that of air. The primary application of SF6, we all know it is worldwide. We are using it as a dielectric and arc quenching medium for the electrical switchgear. The arc quenching time of SF6 is almost 100 times better than that of air. The propagation speed of sound in SF6 is about 1/3 of the air atmospheric pressure. So the arc interruption, the interruption of arc will be less loud in SF6 breakers, considering the air circuit breakers or the vacuum circuit breakers compared to those breakers. So this is one point. And the pressure inside the SF6 gas tank generally varies with the temperature. Now, being SF6 as an insulator, so it is having the inversely proportional relation with the temperature. And at atmospheric pressure, it liquefies at minus 63 degrees centigrade. Now, SF6 gas is having a very typical, you can say, property. If you are applying the SF6 at a very high pressure in very you can say less volume of tank, so it quickly changes its property. For example, if the vessel or the volume is quite large, and if you are putting the SF6, then it is at it will be there as a gas. But if you are applying very high pressure, for example, you are you are giving a very high amount of SF6 in a very small volume, and quickly it changes its property to liquid. So this is one typical property of SF6 you need to just remember. Now, if we are talking about the safety, this is very important generally for the maintenance purpose. So where the maintenance is happening. Now, while we are doing the maintenance, we are having separate guidelines provided by the IEC or SIGRE, that is regarding the inhaling of SF6 concentration. Now you can say during filling you can inhale above 1000 ppmv no matter what. Now during the maintenance and internal fault, you can see the limits, the inhaling limits is automatically getting reduced. Now there is a reason for that. While filling, you know that the purity of the SF6 is very high. Now when the SF6 purity is very high and you are inhaling that SF6, then it will create nothing but an asphyxia in your body. That is nothing but the reduce of oxygen level in your brain. But generally, whenever we are doing the maintenance after the fault, that inhaling concentration is almost 20 ppmv, because when you are after the internal fault, generally what happens that the disintegration or the decomposition of SF6 is happening, and because of that highly poisonous gases like SO2 or HF will form inside the compartment, and during that internal fault or the maintenance, it may happen you can inhale those poisonous gas. So for that, we are having the disposal coveralls. So the PPE equipments are really important while you are doing the maintenance in GIS. So for that, disposal gloves, disposal foot coverings are there. And after the maintenance, it is recommended that you wash your hands or body with soap and water. So these are the safety guidelines we all need to follow, especially the maintenance engineers. Now, there relevant standards are there for the SF6 handling. Now, the IEC, you all know that is the IEC we all are using. That is you can say the global standard. ASTM is generally for the American standards. That is for the US engineers. Secret also it is a very renowned standard worldwide. And also we are having the IEEE. So for 6 handling guides, we are having the different standards of IEC, ASTM, Secret, and IEEE. Generally, the handling guide means that whenever you are doing the filling operation of circuit breaker, so up to what pressure you need to fill of the gas compartment. And additionally, for example, there is a new GIS compartment has been transported to your substation. So what will be the ultimate vacuum before filling the SF6? Also, if you are having the filled SF6 compartment and you want to do the maintenance, so what should be the final recovery during the recovery? So these all guidelines are already stated in the SF6 handling guides. Now, the new SF6 technical specifications. For that, we are having the standards. It means that whenever the SF6 is manufactured, like different manufacturers are there, like Solvay or Linde, whenever they are manufacturing the SF6, so they are following the guidelines that what should be the purity level of SF6, what should be the moisture content of the newly manufactured SF6, or if there are some accidentally there are some byproducts are forming inside the SF6, so what should be the limit? So for the new SF6 technical specification, these are the limits that has been defined in the standards. The same thing is for the used technical specifications. Generally, we are following the IC 60480 or the Sigre 376 guidelines, where it has been told that after several years of use, what should be the moisture content limit of your SF6, and what should be the other byproducts limit of the SF6. So these are for the applicable for the used SF6 technical specifications. And we are having the SF6 tightness guide, that is nothing but the SF6 leakage guide. So for example, if the SF6 leakage is happening, so what is the there are some limits of the tightness guide. So what should be the limit that you can refer from the SF6 tightness guide? Now, for example, if we see what is the condition of the what is the site condition of the circuit breaker. Now we all know this is the circuit breaker which is in closed condition. The SF6 is there in the SF6 gas compartment. Now, if the fault is happening, for example, so the main contact and the arcing contact separation of the circuit breakers will happen, and after that the arc will happen, and because of that you can see the heat is happening. Heat generation will happen. Let me use the pointer here. So this is the heat generation is happening, and here SF6 gas will come at a very high pressure through the nozzle. And what will be the next thing is that when the heat is there because of the arc, and the SF6 will cool down the heat, and additionally the arc will extinguish. As you know, the SF6 is a very efficient coolant, so because of that the arc extinguishing will happen. Now, if we come to the decomposition scheme of SF6. Now, the decomposition scheme is the chemical decomposition of SF6, how the disintegration or the decomposition is happening inside the compartment, SF6 gas compartment. Now, first, when the disintegration starts, it is having, you can see the F minus and the SF4 plus is there. Now, F minus, as you know, it is very highly reactive. That is, fluorine is the most electronegative molecule as per the periodic table. So the F minus, it will quickly capture with the metal. It is the positive ions of the metal, and it will form the metallic fluoride. So this is a very stable product, which will be there, in the SF6 gas compartment if the disintegration starts. Now, SF4, if the moisture content is there, or some, because of the dry air, we all know that oxygen will be there. So there are two reactions it may happen. One, in presence of moisture, it will form the HF and SOF2, that is, and with the help of oxygen, it will again form SOF4. But these are not the stable stable byproducts. Now, because of the silicon dioxide, the HF will again react with SiO2 and form the silicon tetrafluoride. And you can see additional moisture is forming. So once the moisture is entering into the gas compartment, you can see that the chain reaction will start to happen, and the additional moisture is, it starts to form. So it is very much important that moisture is the biggest enemy of SF6. You don't need moisture in your gas compartment, because once it is there, the reaction will start to happen, and because of that moisture molecule, the additional moistures will be occurring because of the natural reaction. Now, the SOF2 again, this with fluorine, it is forming the SOF4, and the SOF2 again, with the help of this additional moisture, it will form the SO2 and HF. So these are again the stable byproducts, and you can see in the IC or the IEEE guidelines that there are some limits that has been defined by the relevant standards. Now the SOF2 again with oxygen will form SO2F2 and hydrogen fluoride. The same reaction with the SOF4 with moisture, again it will form. So these are the stable byproducts. It is happening. First is the metallic fluoride, then again the moisture and the silicon tetrafluoride, and you can see the SO2 and HF. So this HF, because of this HF, this is a very high acidic in nature, and it is very close. And because of that, we can observe these corrosions in the metal because of the HF, because it is having very, very high acidity. So this is the decomposition scheme of SF6. This is how the reaction is happening. Next, we will see that what should be the decomposition product limits, because we all know that main decomposition products are the SO2 and HF. Because of that, the corrosion in the metal starts to happen. So the different guidelines, I've already told you, the IEC, ACE and SIGRE are there. They have already defined these guidelines. Now the IEC 60376 is, again, I am just repeating that it is for the newly manufactured SF6 at yesterday that 99.7% pure. The IEC 60480 is for the used SF6 technical specifications. So for the used SF gas, older AS or AS circuit breakers can follow this SF6 purity limit. ASTM again is again for the new manufactured SF6, and SIGRE 376 is for the used SF6, that is for the older GIS and AS utilities. And also the moisture, SO2 and HF all the parameters. These guidelines have been defined the limits. So whenever you are doing the quality analysis of Sf6, you just need to refer this table, and accordingly you can do the maintenance of the Sf6. So that you need to just remember. Now, I've already told you that during the maintenance, or because of the internal faults, we can observe these abnormalities in the GIS compartment. So you can see this is nothing but the effect of the faults happening inside, or things happening inside the compartment. That means generally it does happen when your dilate length of Sf6 is getting reduced. So that is why you need to periodically check what is the condition of the Sf6. The better the Sf6, the less chance of these internal faults will happen inside the GIS compartment. Now, if it turns big, so the major faults GIS is looking like this. So you can see this is a major fault which has happened in the GIS. So that is why it is recommended to check the quality analysis of the Sf6. Now there's one question for the maintenance engineers, that is it possible to diagnose the electrical faults by just analyzing the quality, Sf6 quality? The answer is obviously yes, we can do that. But definitely we'll come to this question when we will explain the Sf6 gas quality analyzer. There I'll just tell you that how we need to diagnose the electrical faults by analyzing the Sf6 quality. Now, if we are talking about the Sf6 handling solutions, so I've already previously told you that there are three types of products. One is the Sf6 leak detection. That is the detection of leakage. That is done by the two principles. One is the high voltage ionization principle is there. The high voltage ionization principle leak detectors that are that is available in the market. There are several manufacturers, they are having these products, and the cost of this product is relatively low. But what is the most important thing is that you need to do the leak detection very accurately. So for that we are having the principle also. The IR principle is quite accurate with compared to your high voltage ionization principle. For the quality assurance, we are having the dew point meter, which will, it will only measure the Sf6 point. Along with that, we are having the Sf6 purity meter, which will only measure what is the condition of the purity of your Sf6. And we are having the Sf6 multi-analyzer, which will not only measure the purity and the dew point, but along with that, what are the condition of the decomposition gases. If it is forming inside the gas compartment. So along with that, we are having the most important instrument, that is for the maintenance purpose. We are having the Sf6 filling and evacuation unit. Mind you, the evacuation is not the evacuation of Sf6. We are using the word evacuation means the vacuum purpose. That means the evacuation of air or the dry air, which is generally present in the newly manufactured GIS compartment, before transporting to the new utilities. So generally dry air or nitrogen is filled up. So the evacuation of air or nitrogen is being done with the vacuum pump. So that is the vacuum operation, filling and vacuum. On that we can do the top up, that is the refilling of Sf6. And other than that, we are having the drying and purification or so for that, definitely filters and dryers are there in the handling plants. So with the help of these three products, we can we can do the evaluation of the SF6, whether we are having the leakage, whether we are having, the quality degradation, or when the quality degradation is happening, so we need to replace the SF6, and for that we're having the maintenance products. So these are the three segments of products we are having. Now, for the SF6 solutions, Scope has joined hands with WIKA Instruments Private Limited. WIKA Instruments, as you all know, that is a very reputed manufacturer of the Sf6 gas solutions. Now, besides the manufacturing the Sf6 gas solutions, it is a very reputed manufacturer of different gauges like the pressure gauges, the density monitors, along with the different sensors like the pressure sensors and the temperature sensors. The WIKA is established in the offices in Klingenberg, Germany. And also in Pune, we are having the WIKA India office. So right now, in the WIKA India office, we are also having the calibration lab set. We have already recently, they have set up the calibration lab. So all the analytical instruments like the analyzers and the leak detectors, you can do the calibration in WIKA India calibration lab as well. And they are having the enable accreditation also for that. Now, if we are coming to the products directly, I already told you we are having two types of Sf6 leak detectors. One is the high voltage ionization technique, that is the model is GPT1000, and based on the IAT technique also we are pinpointing the leak, that is the GIAT10, that is the NDI technique. For the quality analyzers, we are having the GA20 Sf6 dew point meter. We are also having the GA50, that is the Sf6 purity meter, which I have not mentioned here. And we are having the gas quality analyzer, that is the multi gas analyzer, that is the model is GA11. So here you can see I've already mentioned that along with the purity and dew point, it is measuring the SO2, the H2S, HF, and CO. So this is a multi gas analyzer, and if you are having this Sf6 gas quality analyzer, then it is the best product for you, generally for the GIS and AIS utilities. So it will cover all your headache. And for the maintenance solutions, we are having the GFU08 series, which is generally for the filling and evacuation. Again, I'm repeating, evacuation means the evacuation of dry air or the nitrogen. This is the vacuum operation. The GFU10 is their Sf6 service card. It is generally up to 400 kV AIS and up to 66 kV GIS. So where the volume of Sf6 is quite less. So for that, we are having the GFU10. And for the up to 765 kV GIS, where the volume of Sf6 is quite large in single pole compartments, for that, the suitable product is GPU2000. One by one, I'll just come to the products. Now first, we'll start with the Sf6 filling and evacuation unit. Now in filling and evacuation unit, this is the GFU08 series. We are having total 4 models. One is the GFU08B. So here you can see this is the basic model. Second is GFU08W, where you can see this is the basic model along with the weighing scale. That is the difference between the basic model. So we are having one weighing scale here through which you can do the Sf6 filling with the precise weighing technology. Additionally, we are having the GFU08E. So you can see the difference between the basic model and this model is this one. The additional vacuum pump is installed here. So with the help of GFU08E, you can do the filling as well as the evacuation, that is the vacuum operation. And we are having the ultimate solution, that is the GFU08C. Here you can see the basic model plus your additional the vacuum pump is here for the vacuum operation, and we are also having the weighing scale here. So this is the a best GFU08C, that is the best model for vacuum operation filling, as well as if you want to do the precise filling with the weighing scale. So for that also this GFU08C helps. Now I'll just shortly tell you the different parts of this this filling machine. Here you can see there are two gauges here. One is the inlet gauge and one is the outlet gauge. The inlet gauge is in the back side whenever you are connecting the cylinder. So it will tell you what is the cylinder pressure here. And here you need to set the pressure. The outlet pressure gauge, here you need to set the pressure. So for example, you need to fill one circuit breaker compartment which is having the rated pressure of 6.5 bar. So here in the outlet pressure gauge, you need to select the 6.5 bar up to this. So automatically the filling operation will start. Other than that, this is the weighing scale I have already told you. Here it will only indicate the weight of the cylinder. Here the cylinder adapter is there, which is connected to the face of the cylinder. And if I'm talking about the bottom part here, if you're having the GFU08E or GFU08C model, so the vacuum pump will be installed here. So for that, the vacuum pump, it is there. The vacuum pressure gauge is there, which will indicate the final pressure after the vacuum. So for that, this vacuum pressure gauge is there. And for the suction, we are having the vacuum suction hose. And this is the top side view. So here you can see the cylinder is mounted here. And this is this gas cylinder valve, and it is protected by the valve protection. And the cylinder is mounted with the self-starting ratchet strap. So there is no problem mounting the cylinder in the back side of the instrument. And this is the filling hose, which will it will be connected to the circuit breaker or the GIS chamber which you want to feed. Now, if I'm talking about the features of the GFU08 series, it is a very robust unit, but it is having the fills, so it is modular. It is the gas cylinder, you can see here, it is having maximum safety because of the strap. So there is no problem in the safety of the gas cylinder. It is having high accuracy scale, I have already told you, with the large digital indication for the precise weighing technology. And if you are choosing the GFU08E or C model, so we will give you the vacuum pump along with the filling machine. So these are the 5 types of vacuum pumps are available. So this is the S16 is the basic model. So this is the 16 meter cube per hour is the pump capacity. So this is the standard pump we are giving you. However, if you want to have the different pump based on your if you want to do the quick vacuum, so for that we are having these optional models also. So you just need to select one model, and you need to tell us that we need this model, this this vacuum pump model with your GFU08B. So accordingly, we can give you the solution. If I am talking about the specification, so the gas cylinder connection that I have told you in the, you can also see in the picture in the previous slide that the gas cylinder connection is there. That is the standard EIN 477 connection. The max inlet pressure is 200 bar, which is quite sufficient because the cylinder is having the highest pressure, that is almost around 25 to 30 bar. So beyond that, you don't need the inlet pressure in practical condition. The max outlet pressure is 10 bar, which is again quite sufficient because you are using the filling option for the circuit breaker or GIS applications where the rated pressure is never going above 7 bar. So again, it is very much sufficient for For the filling hose, we can give you 6 meter stainless steel hose pipe. Obviously, this is the standard filling hose size I'm talking about. Up to 15 meter, we are having the option also. It is equipped with rubber fills for easy transportation, and for the voltage supply, where we only need the single phase supply for the connection. Now, if you are having the vacuum pump installed in your equipment, so for that, the separate vacuum hose also we are giving. It is again the standard size is 6 meter, but in optionally we can provide you up to 15 meter stainless steel hose pipe. So this is all about the GFU08 series. The application of the GFU08 series is mainly the filling, refilling, and the evacuation of air and dry air on nitrogen. That is the vacuum operation. So filling, refilling, and vacuum. These 3 operations can be done with the help of GFU08 series. Now, generally, what we used to see while doing the maintenance of the AIS and GIS utilities, we need to recover the Sf6 from the gas compartment to your cylinder, or if you are having the storage tank inside the equipment. So for the recovery of Sf6, we need a compressor. Now for that application, along with the filling, recovery, purification and filtration, all the operations can be done by GFU10 model. So this is a single stop solutions for the AIS utilities. I'll request the AIS utilities to use this instrument. It is equipped with, you can see here in the image that it is having the internal storage tank also. So up to 22.5 kg, you can store the Sf6 gas, which is quite sufficient for the AIS utilities, because if you are doing the maintenance by pole, so it is quite sufficient. The storage tank is quite sufficient for you. So for the AIS utilities, this is the best model for the Sf6 handling, because it is having all the operations. Now here it is the backside view of the instrument. This is a pencil sketch. I'll just explain that. Here you can see this is in the backside. We are having the dryer. So once the gas is coming through this instrument, so through dryer it will come, and dryer is nothing but the moisture evaporator. So if the moisture is present, the moisture evaporation will be done by the dryer. Along with that, we are having the rough moisture indicator, which is installed here. The rough moisture indicator, it will just tell you with the help of color that whether the gas the gas which is there in your gas compartment, whether it is having high moisture content or low moisture content. So it is not analyzing your gas, but it will give you the rough indication of the moisture content. Now, if the gas is dry, then the color will be here green. But if the gas is having high moisture, then it will convert it to yellow. So that is how the moisture indicator works. Additionally, we are having the purifier and filter for the purification and filtration operation. We are having the several valves there. That is because it is a manual unit. So by operating with valves, we can do the operation. You can see here the vacuum pump is installed here. So the vacuum pump, the application of vacuum pump is for the evacuation of dry air on nitrogen, which is I have already told you in the GFU08 series also it is installed. So that is the primary application of the vacuum pump. Along with that, we are also having one compressor, main compressor, that is nothing but the reciprocating compressor, which is creating the high pressure. Because application of the reciprocating compressor, we all know that it will generate the pressure and to transfer the pressure to transfer the gas at very high pressure. So that is the work of the reciprocating compressor. Additionally, we are having the vacuum compressor also. The application of the vacuum compressor is nothing but the better recovery of Sf6. So the vacuum compressor is nothing but compressor you are using here for the better recovery of Sf6. And this is an optional compressor here in the GFU10. In the GFU10, the standard pump here, which will do the evacuation or the vacuum operation, and one main compressor will be installed here, which will do the filling and recovery of SF6. But if you want to do the vacuum, recovery of SF6 up to 1 millibar, for that you need to install this separate vacuum compressor. So these are the applications of the vacuum pump and the compressors. I believe it is very much you can easily understand the applications. Now, if I'm talking about special features, so as I've already told you that for the AIS utilities, it is the best handling solution. It will do the filling, recovery, purging, and purification of SF6 gas from tanks and also in the gas compartments. It is having the flow chart. The face of the has a flow chart through which you can understand how the gas is coming through which valve. So the working principle of the instrument can be easily understandable just by observing the flow chart. Now the onboard vacuum pump, the S16 model, which is installed here, it can evacuate up to 1.3 millibar and features an inner V for preventing the gas path reversal. The oilless compressor is here. Oilless compressor means the main compressor, that is the reciprocating compressor I'm talking about. And it is having the high pressure withstand capability up to 65 bar. And the filtration and the purification can be done up to 0.1 microns. So this is for the solid microparticles if it is present in the SF6 gas. For that we are having this purified and filter. Other than that, I have already told you that the dryer is installed, which will do the moisture evaporation. So all the purification and the filtration is done with these this unit. Now the all filters, it can be manually, you can replace it without disconnecting any tubing. So you don't need a scope engineer or WIKA engineer for this filter replacing. You just you can do it even on your own. Now there is a automatic shut off feature when the storage tank is full of liquefied SF6. So this is an interlock which we are giving in the instrument. So accidentally if the storage tank is full, so for that we are giving this automatic shut off feature. Now if I'm talking about the specification, it is the standard specification. The vacuum pump flow rate, that is the S16 model which we are giving. It is the same model which we are giving in the GFU10 also. So, and this is the flow rate of the vacuum pump, which is 16 meter cube per hour. The oil-free compressor flow rate, we are having two options. One is the 1.3 and other is the 2 meter cube per hour. Based on your requirement, we will give this oil-free compressor. That is the main compressor I am talking about. And the vacuum compressor flow rate is 3.3 meter cube per hour. Again, I'm telling you that this is an optional accessory. So for the better recovery of SF6 only, for that, this vacuum compressor is there. Now the oil-free compressor pressure, I have already explained it, that it is having a high pressure withstanding capability. And other than that, the hose pipe length, which we can give up to 10 meter optionally here. And we will need just the single phase supply to operate the instrument. So this is the GFU10. Again, this is the best model for the AIS utilities, I'll tell you. And where the volume of the SF6 is quite less. So for that, you can use this GFU10 model. And again, it is having the one-stop solution. So all the operations it can do. Just have, if you are having this unit, you can do all the operations with this instrument. Now, we will come for the GIS utilities. This is the best model for the GIS utilities, where we know that the volume of the SF6 is quite large in the gas compartments. For that, we are having the GPU 2000 model. Now, earlier I have told you that GFU10 is a manual operation is there, but here the GPU 2000, the most vantage point of this instrument is that it is having the automatic operation. You don't need any valves to operate in this machine. Everything it will do automatic. This is the most vantage point of this instrument. Other than that, the application part, if we are talking about, it is same as that of GFU10. It can do the filling, refilling, purification, filtration, recovery, vacuum, each and everything, or each and every option it can do. But there are advantages over the GFU10. The GFU10, we are having the single purification system, whereas in GPU 2000 we are having the double purification system. So the filters, the purifiers, we are having the double purification system here. Now you can use this instrument up to 765 kV GIS. So if I am talking about the features, now it is same. The first sentence is same as that of GFU10. Now the onboard vacuum pump, it can evacuate up to 1 millibar. So if you are following the IC or IEEE guidelines, it will tell you that the standard vacuum final pressure should be 20 millibar. So we are giving 20 times better with respect to your IC guideline. So up to 1 millibar, which features an NRV preventing gas path. The oil compressor is again capable of very high pressure, up to 50 bar it can withstand. And the oil-less vacuum compressor. Vacuum compressor, initially in the GFU10, I told you that it is an optional accessory. But here in the GPU 2000, this vacuum compressor is the standard accessory. Because in the GIS, here the SF6 volume is quite large. So you need to have a better recovery before, you need to do the vacuum operation. So for that, we are having the standard vacuum compressor installed in this unit. Now, the main difference between the oil-less compressor and the vacuum compressor, I have already told you. The oil-less compressor is the reciprocating compressor, but the vacuum compressor is again, this is the scroll type compressor for the better recovery. Now, in the instrument, we are also installing one dew point sensor, which will do the humidity sensor is there, which will basically do the measurement of the dew point of the SF6. So with the help of that, you can understand while doing the recovery or the feeling, you can understand what is the condition of the dew point of your SF6. So I've told you that double purification of particles up to 1 microns we are doing here. All the hose pipes can withstand very high pressure, and the maintenance of the unit is quite low because the operations are all automatic operations. So automatically the maintenance is very low. And the operation of this instrument is done via 10-inch Intel touchscreen. So you just here you can see this touchscreen is there, 10-inch touchscreen. Here you just need to have this option. All these options are there: filling, recovery, filtration, or if you need to do the vacuum or aeration. So all these options are here. You just need to click the option, and you just need to start the operation. So based on that, it will automatically start. Before that, you just need to connect the instrument with circuit breaker, or if you want to feel that, for that cylinder connection is necessary. So if I'm talking about the specification, where we are giving you quite a bit of options in the vacuum pump. The standard vacuum pump we are giving 40 meter cube per hour. The final vacuum is same for all these options. We're having the 25 meter cube per hour, and for the large 765 kV GIS, where the volume is quite large, for that we are having this 100 meter cube per hour vacuum pump also. which will quickly do the vacuum of the large compartments. The vacuum compressors, again, we are giving you three options. Standard, we are giving 10 meter cube per hour. These are the two optionals are there, 6 and 15. You can choose it if you want to have the optional. So again, the vacuum pump is applicable for the vacuum operation, that is the evacuation of air and nitrogen, and the vacuum compressor is for the better recovery of Sf6 up to 1 millibar. So here you can see the final vacuum of the final recovery. I would say final recovery is up to 1 millibar with the help of vacuum compressor. And other than that, we are having two optional storage tanks. One is the 300 liter and one is the 600 liter. If I'm talking about the specification, so the one thing which we missed in the previous slide was the main compressor, that is the oil-free compressor here. So which we are giving 9.8 meter cube per hour. The outlet pressure of the compressor is almost 50 bar, so it can withstand high pressure. The particle filtration, it is 1 micron, I have already told you. So the filter is having some water absorption capacity up to 160 gram. We're having the weighing scale, and the weighing scale means the precise feeling by the weighing technology. So for that we are having the weighing scale, and it is having some accuracy. The operating panel, we have already told you that by a 10-inch touchscreen you can do the operation. And for the power supply, we will need the 3-phase power supply to power on the instrument. So other than that, you can just go through this option once. Other than that, in the literature also you will find the specification. Now, with this GPU 2000, we have completed the Sf6 handling solutions. That is the maintenance part. That's the maintenance solutions we have completed. The rest, the two of the things we need to cover is the gas analysis part. That is we are doing with the help of Sf6 gas analyzer. For that, we are not covering the GA20 here, because with the help of G11 also I can explain what is the dew point meter, what is the application of the dew point meter. So here I have selected the G11 product, which is the best product for the both AIS and GIS utilities. Now the GA11 gas analyzer, it looks like this. It is an analytical instrument which, I've already told you in the previous slide. It will give you Sf6 purity. It will give you the dew point, the moisture content, along with the byproducts. What is the condition of the byproducts in ppmv? Now the parameters that can be analyzed is based on the installed sensors inside the equipment. So the gas, if you are connecting through this inlet pipe, that I will tell you when I'll explain the. Now here you need to remember that in the GA11 we are giving the purity and moisture sensor as a by default option. All the other sensors, for example SO2, HF, H2S or carbon monoxide, these sensors are coming as an optional sensors. So the purity and the moisture are the standard we are giving, standard sensors which we are giving. Now there are lots of questions. For example, a utility engineer can ask that why should we need gas analyzer? Because we are already having the portable dew point meter. So why should we purchase the gas analyzer? What is the application? The application is same. We are having the dew point. So what is the need of gas analyzer? So here I'll tell you that what are the advantages of this gas analyzer if you are having it. Now, very well, if having the portable handheld dew point meter, it will only give you the dew point, only give you the what is the dew point of the SF6. Other than that, no other parameters it will give you. However, with the SF6 gas analyzer, you can do the measurement of all these gases, whatever I have told you. This is the vantage point. The other vantage point is that is the most useful one for the utilities. Now, whenever you are doing the measurement of the dew point with portable handheld dew point meter, what is happening that when you are connecting this dew point meter to the breaker with the hose pipe, so the gas which is coming to the dew point meter, it is directly releasing to the environment. Again, this is not as per the guidelines, environmental guidelines. You cannot release the SF6 in open environment. So for that, we are having this gas analyzer. With the help of this, you can do the analysis. It will come here. It will do the analysis. After that, we can do the pump back of the gas to the circuit breaker. So advantage point is no loss of SF6 during the operation, which was earlier happening in the handheld dew point meter. The other thing is that we are also preventing the SF6 coming to the environment. These are the three advantages. One is the multi-parameter analysis we can do. The other two is no loss of gas, and we are not releasing the SF6 in open environment. So these are the advantages of SF6 gas analyzer with respect to the handheld dew point meter. Now, this gas is analyzed as per the different guidelines. The limits are already there in the instrument. So all these limits are pre-installed. So you don't need to worry about the limits. All these IEC 60480 and 376 guidelines, this limits are already there inside the instrument. So you need to select that what should be the limit. Now, if we are coming to the different parts of this instrument, in brief, I'll just go through this. So this is the TFT touchscreen. We're having the 7-inch TFT touchscreen here. This is the mains on-off button. We're having the USB interface here. So you can directly export the data after the analysis to your laptop or PC. We are having the main supply indicator here. So if the main supply is coming, it will indicate here. If the instrument is having the rechargeable battery, so when the charging will start, it will indicate here. The LAN connection, it is not generally required until unless you are having the you are doing the LAN connection, because you can do the USB communication with this port only, the export thing. Other than that, there are this is the power connection of the mains socket. These are three ports we need to understand. One, this is the inlet or the pump back port. So what you will do that you need to connect this hose pipe here, and the other end should be connected to your circuit breaker compartment, for example. So through that hose pipe, the gas will come, the analysis will be done here, and through this port only the pump back of the gas will happen to the circuit breaker. Now we are additionally giving these two outlet ports also. What are the applications of this? This is for the gas recovery bag. Now, for example, if we want to test one sample of the SF6, for that we are having the gas recovery bag here. It's just mainly applicable for the laboratory purposes. And this is for the gas cylinder. For example, if the gas, it is your analysis, after the analysis, you can understand that the moisture might high or the decomposition has started to happen. You don't want to pump back that same gas to your circuit breaker. So for that, we're having this outlet gas cylinder. You just need to connect the port here through another empty cylinder, and through that you can do the pump back to your cylinder, because you don't want your gas, you can say the wet gas to your circuit breaker. So that's why we are giving this outlet port. Now, if I am talking about the special features of this gas analyzer, that I have already told you that it can measure the purity, moisture, SO2, H2S, HF, and CO. And the gas analysis is done as per the IC 60480 guidelines, 60376, and the SIGRE guidelines. We are having the rechargeable battery here. So battery power for minimum 5 measurements. So when the battery is fully charged, you can do the 5 measurements consecutively with the GA11. The battery is generally draining down very quickly because of the compressor which is there for the pump pack. So because of that, you can do maximum 5 measurements. So most of the reputed manufacturers like Dino and other manufacturers are there. They are also giving up to 5 measurements. We are also having the real-time animation of the whole operation from start to end. So here in the screen, you can see the operation. So which valve is opening and how the gas is going to this internal. We are having the temporary storage tank here. So in the temporary storage tank, how the gas is going, what are the valves operating, all these, you can see it and in the real-time animation. Or the, you can understand the working principle better with the real-time animation by observing that. Now, we are having the 7-inch Intel touchscreen display here, and the weight of this instrument is relatively very low, up to 25 kg. So it is very much portable. Now, the specification of the main unit is I'm talking about the inlet pressure capacity is quite high, up to 35 bar. So that means you can also connect the cylinder with the GA11. So it can sustain the inlet pressure. But the pump back pressure capacity is up to 10 bar only, because this pump back pressure, it is only applicable for your circuit breaker and GIS, which is having the rated pressure again, not above 6.8 or 7 bar. So we are having the 10 bar, which is more than sufficient, this pump back pressure capacity. The flow of measuring gas almost 20 liters per hour. So it will just tell you that how much gas is going inside your instrument. Yeah, we can do the operation of this instrument with the single phase supply, and you can see the weight is very low, almost 25 kg. This is the last part of our presentation. So we have already completed the Sf6 maintenance solutions. So there we have observed the GFU series. Here we have completed the quality analysis of Sf6. So we have done the analysis, gas quality analysis part. The last but not the least, we are having the leak detectors. So previously, I have told you that there are two models. One is the GPD 1000, and other one is GI 10. The basic difference is the measurement technique. The GPD 1000 is based on the high voltage ionization technique, and GI 10 is based on the non-dispersive infrared technology. So here we'll just brief what is GPD 1000. So it is an electronic leak detector. It will not only detect the Sf6, but it is applicable for the halogenated refrigerants as well. So it is a handheld unit with the easy Sf6 leak detection facility. There is one sniffer probe is at the top. So here it is the instrument. So this sniffer probe is at the top, and with the help of this here, the detection alarm is there. So here through which you can see, this is an audible alarm sound. It will come when the Sf6 is there it will sense the Sf6 or the halogenated gases. Other than that, you can also understand with the help of the visual alarm also. Here the color is automatically changing when it will sense the SF6 or the halogenated refrigerants. So there are two detection facilities are there. One is the audio and one is the visual. Now the sensitivity is very less than 3 gram per year, so it is having a quite good sensitivity. The probe length, we are having 30 centimeter probe length. Also, we can give up to 1000 millimeter, that is up to you can say 100 centimeter. So that we can give. We are having 3 options: 300 millimeter, 600 millimeter, and 1000 millimeter. It is equipped with double A size batteries. So it is not having the rechargeable batteries. The battery lifetime is approximately 35 hours. The sensor lifetime, it is also having the 30 hours. So the sensor time, it is having the limited sensor lifetime. The warm-up time is almost, you can say, less than 2 seconds. The response time and the reset time is quite high. That is almost less than 1 second. Now this GPT-1000, this this unit is the other manufacturers are also giving these type of units. So this is quite available in the market. But what is the distinguishing product here is the GI-10. That is the same leak detector unit, but with the NDIR principal leak detection technique. So how this IR principle is working, that I'll explain in the next slides. First, I'll just let me brief this instrument first, that it is used for the detection of smallest of the SF6 gas concentration based on the non-dispersive infrared technology, which is cross-sensitive sensor. That means it will only detect SF6 and nothing, only SF6. In the GPT-1000, we have seen that it can also sense the other halogenated refrigerants also. But here, in the GI-10, as it is a cross-sensitive sensor, it will only detect SF6. And why it is not, sensing the other gases, that I'll explain while I explain the working principle of this particular sensor. The leakage detection is carried out using a handheld instrument and a movable gooseneck with the gas inlet on the front side. So this is the handheld instrument it is talking about here, and this is the gas inlet which is coming here. Now here one small motor is working here. This pump is working. It is continuously sucking the air. So the air is coming through here. The sensor is installed here. So automatically it will give you the concentration through where the leak detection is happening in ppm value. So this display and this display is almost same. That is one and same. So the same concentration unit you can see here also. Now, after analyzing it, if it detects the SF6 molecule, so it will show the value of concentration. What I have told you in ppmv unit is there. Other than that, if there is no SF6, if it is senses, then it will give the 0 output. Now there are some different parts of GI-10. You can see here, this is the gas inlet with the particle filter is here. The digital indicator of the handle instrument, which will give you the concentration value. This is the connection of the handle instrument, and along the connecting hose is there. The digital indicator is also there. So 2 and 5 are giving the same display. This is the on-off switch or the zero adjustment. This is very important when you are doing the leak detection. So this is just basically a reset button. So for example, if you are doing the leak detection of one compartment, after that, if you are going to the second pole, for example, if you are checking the R pole of a breaker and you are going to the Y pole of the breaker, you can do the reset here. So the sensor will automatically reset the value, and you can do the checking of the Y pole of the breaker as well. This is the console case and this is the shoulder belt. So if you are going to the upper part of the circuit breaker, for example, if you are going to check the interrupter portion of the circuit breaker, the AS circuit breaker, so there you need these shoulder belts, because this is a protective part of this equipment. Now let me explain the working principle of this sensor. So how it is only detecting the SF6 and not the other gases. Now the operation is very simple. As I have told you that before the IR source here, the gas is continuously sucked in because of the the compressor is there. Now this IR source is there. This IR source is heating the air. Now because of that, when the heating is happening, so the different molecules will be activated, and for that we are having two reference filters in the sample gas chamber. Now the heated molecules are coming through these filters. Now there are two filters, one is the reference filter and one is the sample filter. Now this sample filter is tuned in 947 centimeter inverse. Now this is the peculiar wavelength of the SF6. This filter is tuned in the wavelength of SF6. So when the sample is coming, for example, in the sample there is no SF6, this filter will not be tuned, because it is only tuning, it will be only tuning when the SF6 molecules will be coming through here. So that is why the sample filter will be only tuned when SF6 is present, and based on that the detector it will give you the output. So it will just tell you, like in a binary output, that whether my SF6 is there or it is not there. So that is how the is working. After that we are doing the calculation of the reference filter and the sample filter with the Lambert-Beer's law, and we are calculating the concentration of SF6 which it is sensing. So with the help of this A, it will give you the concentration value of the leak, and this is the formula through which the leak detection is done. Now here we have to verify the NDIR sensor, we have taken one sample as water, that is the water molecule, and other is the SF6, and we are checking whether this NDIR sensor will activate when the moisture is coming through here. But all these compounds like the water, SF6, and all the different compounds are having different wavelengths. So the SF6 wavelength, it is you can see here, this is the 947 centimeter inverse. It will be tuned here, but the moisture wavelength of the moisture, again, it is different. So it is not matching with the SF6. So that is why it will only work when the SF6 is there. So that is how the cross sensitivity in this sensor works. So you can easily understand that how accurate this GIR10 instrument is. With the help of this IR principle, it will only give you the detection of the SF6 leakage. Now, if I am talking about some special features of this instrument, so smallest concentrations up to 1 ppmv can be detected. It is having no radioactive source. It is having just an IR source, which is just heating this sample of air which is coming through the chamber. Now, it is equipped with a cross-sensitive sensor that will only detect the SF6 that I've already explained. It is not affected by the background contamination. No other gases it will sense because of the cross-sensitivity option. And the response time, the warm-up time is very fast. It is almost less than 1 second, and it is having the acoustic alarm signals. Now, the other part of the specification you can see where in the GPD1000 we didn't have a a display unit, that is the concentration unit, but here the concentration calculation is there. Up to 2000 ppmv we can do the check the leak detection. The detection limit is also very less, that is 3 ppmv. The detectable leak rate is 3.43 gram per year. Again, it is very less. So smallest of the concentration of the leak it will detect. Accordingly, you can see the accuracy is precisely very high of this instrument. The resolution is 1 ppmv. So even if the 1 ppmv leakage is happening, it will even indicate that leakage as well. Other than that, it is equipped with the rechargeable battery. Operating time of that rechargeable battery approximately almost 8 hours if you are doing the continuous use of this instrument. So here my presentation is over. So thank you for listening so patiently, and we will just go to the question answer session. So let me check if what are the questions are appearing here. Mr. Gajanan Salunke is asking that I'd like to ask one question pertaining to recycling of contaminated Sf6 gas. Any agency in India which doing the Sf6 recycling process? Okay, so sir, in your question, you need to just tell me that how the contamination of the Sf6 is happening. I mean, obviously, all this unit, whatever you have see here in the presentation, that the GPU 2000 can do the recycling or the filtration of the Sf6, but you just need to mention that what is the contamination is happening, what are the elements which are the cause of this contamination. So that you need to tell. Based on that, I can tell you that is there any agency, or if it is there, if any agency is there. Considering the leak rate perspective, which are the best hoses, rubber or metallic? Now, considering the leak rate perspective, sir, I'll tell you that the best material for the hose pipe is the SS hose pipe. It is a stainless steel, because in the rubber hose pipes, though it is less costly for the utilities, but it is having a high chance of having the leakage, because the material of the rubber is quite you can say it is not good as much of the SS. So based on that, SS is the best material for the hose pipe. As I knew, normally Sf6 multi-analyzer sensors need to calibrate after 2 years. Is there any innovation in sensors module so that sensor calibration can be extended until 5 years? Yes, actually there are have been developed some sensors, but generally it is not, again, it is applicable for the gas analyzer, though we are likely to use these sensors. These sensors, what we are using in the gas analyzer, are all the electrochemical sensors. For example, I'm telling you that in the gas analyzer, for the HF, SO2, all these, for this measurement, whatever the sensor we are using is the electrochemical sensor, which is having relatively low life. But again, the IR sensors are coming. It is developing gradually. and we are also trying to implement this sensor into the gas analyzer so that the sensor life time will be increased. What is the frequency of Sf6 gas monitoring? What is the cost of Sf6 multi-analyzer tool? The cost of the Sf6 multi-analyzer tool, that will be that will be provided by our marketing team, so you don't need to worry about that. The frequency of the Sf6 gas monitoring is that is different based on the different utility guidelines. Many utility follows 6 months, or they are also following based on that if some internal fault is happening in the GIS or in the circuit breaker, means that in your system, then only they want to do the Sf6 gas monitoring. Other than that, generally Sf6 is not disintegrating. Just you need to ensure that there is no moisture present in your system, because if the moisture is present, then the disintegration or the decomposition will start. How will the gas leak detector be used? By Mr. Pranab Ghosh. How will the gas leak detector be used for sensing gas leakage at a height of 10 meters breaker flanges? For that, sir, you need to do the hard work. Now, if we are talking about this breaker, that is the I need to say that this should be the AIS circuit breaker. Now, for the AIS circuit breaker, now for that you need to have the ladder, and you need to go there on the upper part of the circuit breaker and check that that is the best solution. Other than that, you cannot do the pinpointing of the leakage. So that is how you're gonna do. Other than that, for the GIS, where the indoor substation is there, we are also having the Sf6 gas monitoring, Sf6 gas leakage monitoring unit. That is nothing but the 24/7 condition monitoring device. So, but that is again only applicable for the indoor GISs, not for the outdoor applications. Mr. S. Narendra, how much cost to change the sensors for calibrations? Well, that again, this thing that the marketing team will be responding your query. So you just need to put the query to your marketing team. Other than that, I believe your email ID is with us, so that your query will be solved by our marketing team. Mr. Surendra Singh, sir, during the lockout condition, breaker can be tripped or running condition. Again, during the lockout condition, breaker can be tripped or running condition. During the lockout condition, breaker cannot be in running condition, because if the lockout means your pressure is quite low for that case. Now, generally what happens, why we are using the Sf6 at very high pressure, because if the fault current is quite high in magnitude, then the arc will generate, and Sf6 at very high pressure will extinguish the arc. Now, for the lockout condition, the pressure inside the compartment is very low. So on that case, it is recommended that if the fault comes in your system, then it is very the chance is very less to extinguish the arc. If the fault current magnitude is less, then fine, the Sf6 will work. But if it is the magnitude of the fault current is quite high, then in the lockout condition, it is not recommended that you do run the circuit breaker. So this is I have almost completed all the questions and answers, and this is where the presentation, my presentation is over. But please, so for that you can also do the registration of that webinar. So thank you for today's session, and till you today, again, please we'll see you after the 11th and subsequently on the 19th of December. Till then,